In the last class, we have discussed different applications using both timer and counter rungs, and we written some programming for different application individually by using counter instruction as well as timer instruction, and then combinedly using counter and timer, we have written some programming for different applications, right? So in the today's class, we'll see some more instructions which are going to be used in the programming, right? So how we discuss different instructions while discussing microprocessor and controller, right? Different instructions means, in case of, for example, processor, you consider data transfer instructions, data uh, logic instructions, right? Arithmetic instructions, then machine control instructions, like that. Different types of instructions we discussed over there, right? Like that, here also we are keep on discussing some instructions, that means some rungs which are going to be used in the PLC ladder logic, right? So previously we written some programs by using coils and contacts, then by using the timer, then by using count instruction we written some programs using these instructions, right, for different applications, right? So in today's class we'll go to discuss little bit some more instructions, right, which are going to be which are going to be used in the programming while writing programming ladder logic for the different applications, right? So in that set of ladder logics, right? So we'll see now in today's class, this one, first one is master control instruction. Master control uh, reset, this one is the MCR, all right, and the second one is the jump instructions, right? Jump instruction, these instructions we are going to discuss in today's class. One is what? Master control reset instruction. Next one is the jump instructions, right? The jump instructions, or two types of instructions are there. This is the jump with feedback and without feedback, right? So jump operation, right? Jump operation without feedback, without feedback. This one is the jump instruction with feedback, with feedback, right? So for every instruction we have some labels, all right, in this particular ladder logic programming, right? So ladder logic programming, jump operation without feedback as a label of jump, all right. This one is the jump with the subroutine, jump with subroutine, these are the labels, right? So here for master control reset instruction we have a label MCR, right? So these instructions we are going to discuss in this class, right? We'll see now one by one instruction how this particular master control instruction, that means how that particular rung is going to be adjusted and how it is going to be used while executing the program, right? In the similar way, by using the jump without feedback and with feedback, right? What is how that particular rungs, corresponding rungs are going to be work, and how this rungs is going to be contributing while executing the PLC logic, right? Those things, those 2 points in today's class we are going to discuss, all right? So now we'll see, first is the master control reset instruction. First one is what? Master control. First one is what? Master control reset instruction. Reset, this label is MCR. This is the label is MCR, master control reset instruction, right? So normally this is going to be work like this, right? To reset some number of rungs, this particular instruction we are going to be used. This particular instruction we are going to be used to reset some number of rungs. How many number of rungs you want to reset, you can reset. That means what? Without, but that means you can move that particular rungs into the off state, rungs into the off state, right? We'll see now the example, one example. For example, this is the PLC logic. For example, this is the PLC logic, right? It has some number of rungs, all right? like this, right? These rungs using coils and contacts. It may be somewhere in the middle, maybe we have counter rungs, right, as well as other timer rungs or combination of all may be present, right? But simple understanding purpose, I am going to consider here only rungs with only coils and contacts, right? But this number of rungs I am taking here in this particular PLC logic. PLC logic, right? These are the some rungs. You know this one. This is the positive rail. Positive rail. This one is the negative rail. This is the common in whatever the program you are going to write. Right. For every coils, for every rung in this particular PLC logic, PLC ladder logic, right? We have some input address for every input contact, right? Whether it's a normally open or normally closed, that is not our intention, right? So here is, if it is normally open contact, it has a some address, all right? 0.0. In the same way, this coil has a some address, right? Q 0.0, right? In the similar way, it has a some address. You know this particular one, right? 0.1 means I 0.1 means what? Input 0 module first terminal signal is taking as input to this particular contact. We discussed all these things. This is very simple, right? And another rung as a address I 0.2, Q 0.2, right? I 0.3, right? Q 0.3. Like that, I am giving address to these particular contacts and coils, right? Q 0.5, right? I 0.6, Q 0.6, I 0.7, Q 0.7. Like that, we have 8 rungs in this particular PLC ladder logic. PLC ladder logic, right? See how this particular PLC logic is going to be executed. For example, this is the program you written for some application, right? So how it is going to be executed, right? Based on the input data getting through this particular contact, this output is going to be activated or not going to be activated, right? In the similar way, if based on the input data getting to this particular input contact, this output is going to be activated or not activated, right? So like that, from left to right, every rung is going to be work, right? It's going to be execute. This particular logic is going to be executed like this. Every rung from left to right, after completion of the first rung, right, it move to the second rung, right? Then executing from left to right, right? So somewhere, sometimes like this also, right? It's maybe some other, not only one input rung, it may be more than one input rung, right? It may be in the end operation, or so that means it's in the series or in parallel. More than one rung may present in each. That means more than one input may be present in this particular rung, whether it's in first rung or second rung or third rung, right? So like that, these are the going to be executed like this. Like this, first it's going to be executed. After completion of the first rung, it move to the second rung, then executing, then third rung. Like that, it's going to be execute all the rungs by taking the input data from this particular addresses from the input image block, right? So based on the input, these outputs are going to be activated or not activated, right? So if you look at this particular PLC logic, there is no master control reset instruction, right? All instructions are just using coils and contacts and coils. Nowhere timer instruction is there, nowhere counter instruction is there, or combination of both the things are there, right? So there is no master control reset instruction also. Now if, for example, if master control instruction is there, it's going to be present like this. Anywhere you can write, right? So this one is the master control reset. This is the, see, label. You look at this particular label, MCR Q 0.2, right? How many lines you want to reset? For example, if you write 003, right? It's want to reset the 3 lines whenever this one is the off, whenever this one input is off. See, This is the thing you need to remember, right? For example, if you want to reset this particular 3 lines, right, how it is going to be executing, this particular logic is going to be executed first rung like this, then it move to the second rung like this, then third rung, fourth rung, like that it's going to be executed total program, right? So as like how in the while writing the programming for microprocessor also, right, you are going to write instruction one by one instruction you are going to be write, right? So for example, for a particular application, if you write 10 instructions, it is going to be executed one by one instruction. At the end of the execution of the 10 instruction, it is going to give some output, right? Like that here also it's going to be executed like this. After completion of the total execution of eight rungs, you are going to be control the 8 outputs. It's going to be control the 8 outputs. But sometimes some application requirement is there, right? So something here is based on this particular input, if you want to off or on this particular 3 lines, right? That means if you want to skip some number of rungs, that means if you want to reset this particular some number of rungs in this particular total program, you can do by writing this particular master control reset instruction, right? So here how I written here, right? How it is going to be written here in the third rung, here how I written, right? MCR, this is the label I used, master control reset label I used, right? It at what 0.3, right? So how many lines you want to reset? 3 lines. That is the reason I written 003 in this particular rung. Right? So how it is going to be work, right? Based on the input, based on this particular input, from where for this particular third rung, it is going to be on or off based on the input. First in the first step, this is going to be on or off based on the input, right? Based on this input means this input I 0.2, based on this input, this contact is going to be closed or open, right? For example, this input I 0.2 is 0, that means input image block corresponding bit is 0, right? Is 0, for example. Then what will happen? Normally open contact is in the open contact position only, right? If it is 1, right, it is going to be closed, right? Based on this input, this output is going to be active or inactive. That's we already discussed, right? Based on this input, this output is going to be active or not active, right? If it input is on, that means 1, right? This is going to be moved to the on state, right? This is moved to the on state, right? If input is 0, right, this is going to be moved to the off state, right? That means if it is 1, right, this is on. If it is 0, this is off. Alright. So how this particular master control reset is going to be work now? This is the first step you need to understand, and second step you need to understand is that how this particular master control reset instruction is going to be work, right? So it is going to be work like this, right? If it is on, that means output is in active condition. Active condition due to the input 1, right? It is not going to be perform any operation. That means it's not going to be reset the next rungs, right? It's all are going to be work. It's going to be work like this. That means after, if it is high, this input is high, this is going to be active state. Once it is in the active state, right, this master control reset is not going to be perform any operation, right? So due to that, right, remaining rungs are going to be executed as usual. Right? Then this rung, like that it's going to be executed, right? But this input is off. If it is 0, right, this output is going to be inactive. That means inactive state. This one is the active due to the input I. This is the inactive due to the input is off, right? So if it is off, then what will happen? This master control reset is coming to the picture. Right? Due to this particular master control reset, reset, whenever this input is inactive, this is off condition, right? Depending upon the value placed here in this particular code, right? If you place 003 3 rungs after this particular rung in this particular total logic is going to be moved to the off state. That means it's going to be reset off state, right? 3 rungs. Second point you need to understand is that if it is inactive, right? MCR come into the picture, master control reset is going to be reset. How many lines you want to reset, right? That you need to place here in this particular, see here how I written 03 here, right? Due to the 03, next 3 lines, that means 3 rungs are going to be moved to the off state. So going to move to the off state. For example, if you write here 2, 2 lines are going to be off state. If you write here 1 line is going to be off state, reset state. If you write here 4 lines are going to be off state. When if input is 0 and output here is inactive condition, right? Then MCR come into the picture. If it is on, if input is on, that means if it is activated, output is going to be activated. Once it is in an activated condition, it is not going to be reset next rungs, right? It's keep on executing the remaining all rungs, right? So like that, this particular master control reset is going to be coming to the picture, right? So now, for example, if someone is written like this, MCR, right, Q 0.2, right, 004, for example, is written over here. Then what will happen? Whenever input is inactive, master control reset is going to be, if input is 0, master control reset is going to be inactive, then it is going to be reset 4 rungs followed by that particular rung. 4 rungs, right? For example, this instruction is written somewhere here, right? For example, if you write here MCR here 0.001, for example, right? If this particular input is based on this particular input, this MCR come into the action, right? So if it is high, it is not going to be disturbed remaining rungs. It's keep on executing the remaining rungs. If it is low, this is going to move to the inactive state. Once it is moved to the inactive state, here how many number is written? Address is 001, right? If 001 means 1 rung you need to reset. This rung is going to be reset, then followed by remaining rungs are going to be executed. So like that, MCR, this instruction is going to be work in the PLC ladder logic, right? So master control reset instruction is going to be work like this. If it is in the active state, it's not going to be disturbed followed rungs, right? Follow rungs. If it is inactive, right? So like that, MCR is going to be work, master control reset. If it is active condition, it is not going to be disturbed followed rungs while executing the program sequentially, right? If it is inactive, then based on the number you place, those many rungs is going to be reset. It's going to be reset. That means it's going to be zeros. Output are going to be moved to the off state. Like that, MCR instruction is going to be work, right? Then in the second instruction what we discussed, that is the jump instructions, right? Second one is the jump instruction, right? Jump instruction. So in this particular jump instruction, we have 2 types of instructions, right? One is that means that means based on the feedback, right? So whether it's want to get back or it's going to be jump without feedback, with feedback, right? Without feedback or with feedback, right? So previously we discussed these are the 2 types are there. First is user to jump directly without feedback, and another one is the jump with feedback. Jump with feedback is normally comes while executing subroutine programs. Similar instruction we have in the processor also. While discussing the processor also, we use this particular jump instruction. What is the use of jump instruction? To jump from present location to some other location, right? For example, if we have a 100 instruction program is there, 100 instruction program is there. While executing the 20th instruction, right, based on the input condition, based on some condition, if you want to for example jump without executing next 20 instruction to the next 15th instruction, like that you can jump, all right. So like that, while executing the program, some set of instruction, if you don't want to execute based on the input condition, you can jump, right. To perform this types of task, right, we are going to use jump instructions. Normally, what is the use of this particular jump instruction, right? So this jump, why, due to this particular jump instruction, right, you can save the time as well as you can save the memory, right, and complexity of the program. You can, these three are going to be eliminated, or it's going to be better if you have this particular jump instruction, right, in the programming, that means in the set of instructions, right. So we'll see now how this particular jump instruction is going to work in case of PLC ladder logic. In case of PLC ladder logic, this jump instruction, first you need to what we're going to discuss. First thing is what? Without feedback, or what it's going, how it is going to be work. So without feedback instruction is what? Jump. This is the label, JMP. Jump is the label in PLC ladder logic to jump to the other location, right. So this we'll see with some example, all right. So example means we have some example program like this, like this. All right. So this is the positive rail. This one is the negative rail. All right. So in this we have some number of rungs. All right. So like this. Like this, some number of rungs are there. So you return some program. To perform some task, right? Based on your task, you have written some program, right? It has some number of rungs. So based on the application, it may have more number of rungs, right? So how many instructions are required while writing the program is depending upon the application. Like that, we have some number of rungs in this particular PLC logic. So see, you can see all the total program I given using simple contacts and coils, right? It has some address, right? Something we have a address 0.1, 0.0, 0.1, right? Here 0.1, I 0.2, right? I 0.2, I 0.3, I 0.4, right? So like that, inputs is going to be take 5, right? This one I 0.6, I 0.7, here I 0.2, I 0.3, right? I 0.5, I 0.6, right? I 0.1. So based on that, outputs are going to be get. Outputs are going to be at Q 0.0, Q 0.1. I am giving addresses. Just I am giving addresses for the particular contact and coils. Right. These are going to be take data from the. These are going to be take. Sorry, 6. 0.6, Q 0.7. 0.7. Like that, we have a program. Right? So in this particular programming, nowhere we have a jump instruction. Right? So how this particular program is going to be executed? It's going to be executed by taking the input from the input image table. Right? So we have a given address 0.0 means based on that input present in the input image block of the corresponding bit, it is going to be active I or active low, active high or active low. That means normally open contact is going to be closed once input is high. Alright. So like that, if these two are connected in series, right? If this end operation is going to be satisfied, then output is going to be high. So like that, so look at this particular logic, right? How it is going to be executed? It's going to be executed like this, right? Then second rung, then third rung, then fourth rung, then fifth rung, then sixth rung, seventh, eighth rung. Like that, keep on executing total program, right? Based on the input data from the input image table, right? So input image table, where it is getting data from the input module. From the input module means from where it's going to get the data, from the input switches connected to the input module. From the switch status is going to be stored as input image table in the RAM through input module, that is giving input data. That means input to this particular rungs, right? Based on that input, outputs coils are going to be active or inactive, right? So while executing this particular program, particularly, it's going to be executed like this: first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, like that, right? Somewhere, for example, in the middle, right, based on this particular input in some application, right, if you want to jump without executing this particular three rungs, we have an instruction. Right? So if you want to jump to this particular label, right, this particular rung, right, you can jump by using instruction like this, right? By using instruction like this. Here you can write jump, jump, right? How many rungs you want to jump? If this based on the input condition, for example, 2, right? So here we have to give label. Right? We have to give label, right? I'm writing here LBL label. This is the combination of labels. Right, to perform this particular jump operation, right? So look at this particular third rung. I introduced now jump instruction, or you can say that jump rung in this particular program, in this particular ladder logic. I introduced jump rung. How it is going to be work? At what rung I introduced? Third rung, right? It's keep on executing like this. Whenever it comes to the fourth rung, here fourth rung, based on this particular input, it is going to be work. How it is going to be work? Fourth rung, just special I am writing separately here. See here how it is going to be work, right? Fourth rung, I am taking this particular rung only, right? So its input address is I 0.5. Output, how I written? Jump Q 0.3. How many rungs I want to jump? 0, 0, 2 rungs I want to jump. See, based on this particular input, this output is going to be active high or active low. That means what? If it is on, that means if it is 1, right? If it is 1, it's going to be normally open contact is going to be activated. Due to that, output is going to be activated, right? This output is going to be activated. Once it is activated, this jump operation is coming to the picture, right? This jump, how many rungs it want to jump, right? Here you need to give value. 002 written means it is going to be jump to here. This label address here is C 0. Jump Q 0.3 means here it is jump to this particular label. Alright. Jump to this particular label 002. Address is given, it's jump to the label 002, right? So then it's keep on executing these rungs, this particular rungs, right? For example, this input is low, off condition, 0, input is 0. It is not going to be activated, it is off condition. It is going to be not activated, output is not going to be activated. Due to that, this jump operation is not going to be takes place. It is going to be executed like this. So keep on executing like this, keep on executing like that without jump. right? If jump is there means it is going to be jump to this particular label, jump to this particular label. From there it's going to be execute the program. From there it's going to be execute the program, right? So like that this particular jump operation is going to be used. It's the combination of both opcodes, label and so jump and label, right? Whenever jump is there, it is going to be jump to the particular label where you return this particular label, corresponding to jumping to the particular rung, and keep on going to be executed whenever input is high. Whenever this input is high, for example this input is off, that means it is 0, it's not going to be jump, it's going to be keep on executing the program, keep on executing the program like that. So if a jump if carry or jump if no 0, right? We have written, you have studied in the microprocessor, if by the execution of previous instruction, by that time if 0 flag is activated, jump to the address, jump to the particular address, right? Like that here also it is jump to this particular address labeled here, jump to here if this particular input is high, right? Input is high, otherwise it's not going to be jump, it's keep on executing the program, keep on executing the program. So in this programming, right, jumping, but it's not getting back, right? It's not getting back without feedback, right? Without back, right? Normal only jump to some other location, jump to some other location. So it's like that it's going to be work, this particular jump instruction, right? So you can write jump instruction with from multiple points you can jump, from multiple points you can jump, right? So see, this is jumping, same concept I am continuing, right? But here is what, jump from multiple labels, multiple locations, right? So this is, let's say here for example this is like this. Here program, so much program is there, so much program is there, like this is a keep on programming. Like this, so many rungs are there, so many rungs are there. So it's more than 8 rungs. Previously we discussed only 8 rungs. Now I take an example of more number of rungs, more number of rungs, right? So based on, for example this is the first rung, second rung, third rung, like that. This one may be okay, 20 rung, 21, like that is maybe 30, so it's 32. These are the rungs, right? So based on the input, these outputs are going to be active or inactive, right? Somewhere here you can write here jump, I written jump, maybe here address is 02, so it has a some address 03003, right? So you can write here label, you can write here label, right? So in the similar way here also, right? Here label, LBL label 003, right? Execute, right? In the similar way here also label 0 wait so multiple jump, right? So here jump q for example 6, right? So address is 003, right? So here you can write label 003 like this, right? So here in this example you can see here Right. So many rungs are there. So many rungs are there. So keep on executing one by one rung to perform the particular task, right? Remaining all contacts, input contacts has some address, right? As like previously we are discussing, right? So in the similar way, output coils also has some addresses, right? We are going to be stressing only on this particular jump instruction, right? So in the second rung, we have a jump instruction is there, right? Based on this particular input, this jump is going to be active or inactive, right? If it is on, that means it is 1, input is 1, this normally open contact is going to be close and output is going to be activated. Once it is activated, here label is there, jump, its address is 003, right? It is going to be jump to this particular label without executing all this instructions, right? From 3 to 29, it is going to be jump to this particular location. It is going to be jump to this particular location, right? For example, if it is off 0, if input is 0 corresponding to this particular input contact, what will happen? Output is going to be low. If it is low, what will happen? It is not going to jump. It is going to be executed next instructions like this. So keep on executing. Once again, it's going to be check whether this particular input is high or low. Its input is high or low while executing the 20th rung, right? So if it is on, that means if input is 1, then what will happen? This output is going to be activated. Once it is going to be activated, this jump operation is coming to the picture. Due to this jump, it is going to be jumped to this particular label, right? Without executing this particular 21 to 29 rungs, right? It's going to be a jump. If it is 0, off, right? It's keep on executing the rungs without jumping, right? So like that, it as we can write like this also. From multiple locations, you can jump to the destination. Without executing this particular rungs, right? If based on this input condition, this is coming to the action, all right? If input is 0, it's not coming to the action. Jump operation is not coming to the action. It's keep on executing the followed rungs, right? If input is high, it's coming to the action, right? Jump is coming to the action. It is going to be jump to the label without executing this particular rungs, followed rungs, right? Jump to this particular location, right? If it is 0, then it's keep on executing 3 to 19, then it's going to be check 20th rung input. Based on this input, whether it's going to be jump or not going to be jump. So like that, this jump instruction is you can use to jump without executing some set of instruction based on the input condition, right? Some set of rungs you can skip, or you can say that you can jump, right, without executing, all right? If application demand is like that, right? This jump is going to be work. This jump rung is going to be work, right? So with this, it is not going to be get feedback, not return. Jump without return instruction, right? We are going to discuss now jump with return. Third one is what? Jump with return. JSR. Jump to the subroutine. After execution of subroutine program, we need to return, right? Jump to the subroutine program. After execution of subroutine program, it is going to be returned to the main program, right? So as like how it is going to be executed means sometimes while doing some operation, right? Repeated times same operation if you want to perform, right? You cannot write programming repeated times in the main program. You are not going to write the repeated number of times same program. If you write like that, what will happen? It is going to be program is going to be big, right? It may occur errors, or it's going to take more amount of memory, as well as it's going to be take more amount of time to execute the program, right? So to minimize or to eliminate all these all these problems, what we are going to do, right? We are going to write the subroutine program somewhere else, and whenever you required, you are going to be execute that particular subroutine and come back to main program, right? While discussing this particular uh, processor applications also, I give an example like this, right? So repeated number of times if you want to ring the bell, what we are going to be perform, right? Repeated times, right? To rung that particular bell, we are going to write a program, right? That program is going to be executed for every 1 hour, for every 1 hour. Where you are going to write that particular program? Somewhere in the memory only, but that is going to be act like a subroutine program, right? Routinely subprogram, routinely going to be executed, right? So same thing here also, in industry also, sometimes repeatedly if you want to perform same function, then for that particular function you are writing program, that program you are going to call as a subroutine program. That subroutine program also you are going to write in the RAM only, but somewhere in other location, somewhere in the other location, that is also rungs only, that is also rungs only. You will see how this particular jump with subroutine is going to be work, right? Say here uh, we have a main program like this, main program like this, somewhere in the RAM only you are going to write a subroutine program, right? So whatever the rungs you are writing here are the main rungs, main program. Here is repeated program. If you want to execute that program, corresponding rungs you are written here. This is going to become the main program. This is going to become the main program. This one is going to become the subroutine program. Subroutine program, right? So here see similar way, right? For example, this is the context like this, like that. So many rungs are there, for example, right? Right, like that. So many rungs are there. Coils and contacts. For simple understanding, I am giving only one input contact, but normally in application we are going to have so many combination of inputs, right? So many combination of inputs, whether it's maybe directly contact or sometimes timers and counter also come into the picture, right? So this is the main program. This one is the subroutine program. Subroutine program. So something, this is also maybe some little bit program is somewhat big one. All right. So this is the subroutine program. All right. So normally this is the way, right? Like that it's maybe first rank, second rank, third rank. Like that it's maybe 100 rank. One like this is under 2 rank. So it's maybe through 302, 303 rungs, right? So these are the ranks. Based on the inputs, this going to be operate the outputs, right? So this is the subroutine program. This is also has some number of rungs, right? So first rank, second, third, fourth, maybe this one is the 10th rank. This may be 10th rank, right? It is also has some inputs. Based on the input, this outputs are going to be activated. It's going to be activated, right? So here is what my intention is. What I want to keep some rung, that means I want to introduce this particular jump with subroutine instruction, this jump with subroutine instructions, right? So somewhere I written here jump with subroutine, it has a some, for example 04 output, right? Jump with subroutine, it has a some address, for example, right, 004, all right. It's going to be jump to this place, sorry uh, jump to this place, right? Here Hey, jump to here. Here we need to write a label. Label 004. 004. Right. So at the end we need to write here return. RET. Return. Alright, RET return. It may have some contact here or not, that is depending upon the input. Alright, it's depending upon the input. Alright, so here is what I written here some labels here in this particular program. Right, remaining all inputs may be any inputs. Contacts may get the input data, outputs are going to be activated. Right, I'm just concentrated where I required. Right, where I required means here I introduce jump subroutine instruction. Right, so this particular one is the jump subroutine rung. Right, so whenever input is high, this particular output is high. Whenever this particular output is high, it's going to be jumped to this particular subroutine program. After completion of execution of this particular subroutine program, it is going to be returned back to here. It's going to be returned back to here. It's going to be work like this. Right, so look at this particular under rung. Right, so this input we have some contact. Right, this one is the coil. How we are written, for example, this input may be taking I 0.3 data, output how I written jump subroutine JSR Q 0.4 to the label address is 004. I written like this. Right, if this input is on, if this input is on, right, that is 1, it is going to be high. It is going to be high means this subroutine, it's going to be come into the action. Right, so then what is going to be takes place, it's without execution of next rung, it is going to be jumped to here. It is going to be jumped to here, to this particular label address. Then it's keep on executing this particular total program. Whenever it's come across this particular return rung, right, it is going to be returned to where it was stopped. Right, that means from under its one rung, it's keep on executing the main program. It's keep on executing the main program. Right, somewhere after execution of 301 instruction, for example, here may written here like this, jump subroutine Q 0.4, sorry, Q 0.6 or like this. Every time if you call this particular one, right, jump subroutine Q 0.4, 0.8, 6, 0.6, 0.6, 004, for example. Right, so whenever this input is high, it is going to be jumped to this particular subroutine program. Then keep on executing this particular program. It is going to be returned to where it was stopped. Here it was stopped. Then it's keep on executing. Right, so like this, what we have to what you need to understand that, right, based on this particular input, this is going to be active or inactive. If it is active, it is going to be jumped to subroutine. After execution of subroutine, it is returned to where it was stopped. Then keep on executing the main program. Right, somewhere once again based on this particular input, this is going to be active or inactive. If it is active, right, it jumped to the subroutine. After execution of subroutine program, it returned to where it was stopped. Right, now it's come to this particular 303 rung. Then keep on executing the main program. Right, so just remember or just identify the difference between the jump label and this jump label and jump with subroutine. This is what without return. It is jump to the where you return label address. Right, jump with subroutine is what? It is jumping after execution of subroutine program. It is going to be returned to the main program where it was stopped. Right, so that is the difference between the jump with return and jump without return instruction. Right, here you need to remember two labels. Right, two labels, JMP and JSR. JMP is there means it is jumping only, right? Once it is jumped means it's not going to be executed next instruction. It is jump to the label address, from there it's going to be execute, right? It's not getting back, right? Jump with subroutine means what will happen, right? It's jumping to the subroutine. After execution of subroutine program, whenever return rung come across, it is jumping back to where it was stopped, right? Here it's jumping means it's return back to 101. Here it is jumping means it's return back to 303. Then keep on executing the main program, right? So like this particular jump instructions we have, or you can say the jump rungs we have while writing the program, you can use this particular jump rungs, right? So these are the two instructions we have, jump and jump without return and with return, and first one is the master control reset, right? So these are the some instructions, right? Then in the next class we will see the some more instructions like data manipulation instructions, right? Some arithmetic and logical instructions, right? Thank you.